Hello guys, this is Tynrael. Welcome to another episode of New Horizons Modded Career in Kerbal Space Program. Here is my tech tree. It's pretty filled out. I do have to pay money to unlock this last segment. It's almost 2 million. I think it's 1.7-ish. I don't quite have the disposable funds for that. I'll have to do some contracts later. But what I'm really looking forward to doing is getting the command module so that I can send 3 Kerbals off on missions instead of just 1. I don't have the science for it. I'll be getting the science from Titanus. As you can see, there isn't much to see but stars. My ship isn't being illuminated by the sun. There isn't anything blocking it, so I'm not sure why. But if you look over here, you can see Ori, Tylo, Ite. This is where I'm going, and I'm actually in the sphere of influence of Titanus right now. And I was fiddling with my orbit, and something interesting happened. You can see that there's no exit. So I was adjusting my orbit to try to make it easier to get captured by one of the moons around Titanus, like ET, Tylo, or I guess there's a third one, Ori, which I had been constantly forgetting in previous episodes when I was talking about the moons. I don't think there's another one. But I was able to get it so I would have an encounter with Tylo. It looks like I have the encounter before I get to my periapsis of Titanus instead of on the way out, which is interesting. But it looks like it also shifts my orbit so I collide with Titanus. But I have more than 2 hours to do something, so I should be able to get captured by Tylo instead of having to just get captured by Titanus. And then I can work my way around the other moons and then head to Titanus. So I'll see how that goes. And we can see Titanus in the background. Oh, and there's Tylo. So let's just go full thrust on this. So it's still at about 10 minutes. These tanks are mostly empty, so they'll go quick. I think I'll actually use them all now. Jettison the dead weight and get a better idea of what I need to actually do for that maneuver. I was wondering where my solar panels were, and I forgot that I had set up these tanks a little too high so that they block where I've placed them on my satellite. So I don't know how much power I have access to. I guess I have 800 stored. That'll probably go pretty quick when I start scanning or sending experiments home with only these few panels to get electricity back. The local plasma conditions around Tylo differ a little from that generally found at this distance from Joule, with mostly lighter hydrogen and helium particles collected. So this science def isn't updated for Tylo having been reparented to Titanus, because it assumes that it's still around Joule, but we'll transmit that. Tylo looks a bit scary from up here. 45.6 science, wow. An eye on my electricity. Despite Tylo's high gravity, the UV and IR sensors detect no signs of an atmosphere. 60.8 science. So 2,000 meters a second of delta V to get a polar orbit is a little extreme. I'll probably just go for high and low orbit science and skip around to the other moons. But I will take a look at it while I'm here. Tylo's surface is covered with treacherous-looking terrain, broken up only by several enormous craters. Tylo doesn't appear to generate its own magnetic field, but strongly distorts Joule's field, indicating high concentration of dense magnetic elements. Another science def that is directly from Joule. Oh, I'm getting a biome information. 64 science for multispectral analysis from above Tylo's Highlands. Let's see if I can do that again when I move over another biome. Of course, I don't have a biome map, so I'm not sure how many there are. Now I'm at Midlands. Let's try this again. I lost it. I'm out of electric charge. Everything else is locked up. Well, it seems I'm unable to generate electric charge at my current orbit around Tylo and distance from the sun. So I can't get too many more experiments from here. I'm going to plot a course to one of the other moons. So this burn is going to use up all of the fuel in this external set of tanks and allow me to extend my solar panels, so I should have more success getting science at the other moons. And I will lock down this battery again just in case something happens. So 245 kilometers doesn't sound bad. And it's only going to cost 85 meters a second. That's good. 12-second burn in 10 days. Now, I don't believe I've had any experiments from Titanus either. The particles are denser here as you travel through Titanus's bow shock. You feel cold just looking at Titanus. It's blue and white. Whoa, yep, Titanus certainly does have a magnetic field. This is a whole lot of science. I'm going to be getting way more science just from general science around Titanus and one moon than I did sending a manned mission to Lathe. So this is pretty close to polar. Unsurprisingly, this little rock doesn't seem to have a magnetic field. If ETA is a blueberry and Minmis is mint flavored, does that make Ori chocolate flavored? Kerbals sure do love snacks. That looks perpendicular rather. This should be low. No, it's still high. I was able to scan the height with the altimeter sensor of Ori without too much of a problem, but it turns out that the multispectral scanner uses 15 times as much electric charge, and I'm beginning to realize that at this distance from Kerbal, the amount of electric charge I get from my solar panels is reduced. I think that if the New Horizons system is recalculated so that the distance Kerbin is from the sun in the new location parent to Tisana is an amount of 1 charge. Let's see how far away is Titanus. It's 128 billion. So that means that I'm probably between 1 and 2% of the electric charge I would have near Kerbin. So, I did not get a full terrain map, but also playing with a couple of things, I found this scan overlay, which I can use to show how much I did get, if I can find it. There it is. So you need a certain percentage scanned before you're able to get science from it. So let's take a look at the biomap, and there we go. So I would scan, fast forward until I was down to almost out of power, and then stop, because if you go all the way to out of power, I'd have to go unlock my safety battery so that I could actually turn it off again, because you wouldn't be able to control the vessel. And so I did that again and again and again. It took way too long for me to ever want to do it anywhere else again. But I was able to get science from it. And we can see so far I've obtained about 1,000 science from this vessel just entering the sphere of influence of Titanus and experiments I've done now. But Ori also has the lowest gravity of any of the bodies here around Titanus. I don't actually want that there. And so I think that we don't have enough fuel to land, take off, and visit all of the planets. Because I think Tylo is like 40% maybe, and even Ite is too high, like 10%. But this is about 1% gravity. So I fully intend to land on it. This appears to be a good place to end the video. We will descend to Ori next time and see how stable of a landing we can get with 1% gravity on just the engine that we have. We're a little top heavy because of the satellite structure and all that, but we'll see how it plays out. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series and continue to enjoy it. Feel free to comment, like, and or subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode.